all those sorts of things. That's sort of a TDMI project. This is something that, boy, this is really neat, but I don't know where I should go sell it to make the most money, right? And we would go out and sort of search for those different types of marketplaces for you to do that. You want to find a partner or an acquisition that utilize your product, right? A lot of entrepreneurs, they don't want to make anything, right? They just want to sell their idea. So, if you have a really good idea, a really good concept, but you don't want to manufacture it, who should I go sell this to that could integrate it into their product, that could help them, get a step up in the marketplace? So, we do that for technology market intelligence. Is really, who are the key players and where is there a good fit? You want to know what emerging markets might exist, right? We typically talk about commercial and already existing markets, but what's out there that's emerging? So we'll go into the universities, we'll talk to experts in the field and say, what's the next thing? And PhD is like nothing more than you to ask that question. What's the next thing? And they'll talk to you for hours. And we take a lot of notes and we say, all right, here's sort of where this industry, this science is headed, and we're going to go out and look at how your product would fit in those emerging markets. And again, probably not an instant revenue pickup, but a couple years down the road, you get in as the industry partner, you get ahead of it, and all good things happen. You have a desire to support green markets. This is something that's really hot right now. Whether you buy into it or not, going green is it. And a lot of folks are saying, I have a product, can I tweak this around a little bit and maybe get into those green marketplaces, or can I, there seems to be a lot of activity over here. My customer's asking me, right? They got the Walmart scorecard and they can't check the boxes. So they're saying, is there a way that I can, sort of create this product to support a green market? You have a patent and you want to understand the market opportunities. I mean, that's, another one of the most popular ones is that, I have a patent on this thing. I sell and I got 90% share of this market, but I really do think that from a foundational technology standpoint, this has benefits in aerospace and pharmaceutical or wherever. And we would go out and sort of explore those markets and bring back answers for you. So a couple examples that maybe help understand is we worked with a company that had a novel pharmaceutical process for drug purification. Definitely faster and cheaper than the incumbent process. They wanted to know how big a market is it, what are the barriers to entry, and how do I go about commercializing it? Anybody that's played in the pharmaceutical market, if you're not in, it's hard to get in, right? So how do you get in is sort of was one of their questions. And we came back and identified a $100 million opportunity, some key target customers that were willing to partner with them, and what were the mechanisms that they needed to go through to get into that market. So now they're really trying to understand, is this a new company for me? What does this look like now? Because this excites me a little, $100 million to go out and do. Another example is we worked with a high fidelity rapid manufacturer, could do 10 times the fidelity of typical rapid prototype or rapid manufacturers. They wanted to get into the medical market. They said, I think it's the place to be. Everybody loves medical, right? Grows at 400% a year, pretty stable. I want to be there, and I think our process can get there. So I really want to look at that. Are there any others, and what partners do I need to get a hold of? Well, when we did the research for them, we found out there's 952 others just like them. Okay, that not only are they just like them, but you could buy stuff on the internet, like from Amazon.com. So yeah, you could go, but there's a lot of competition, and you're going to do a lot of Me Too stuff. But we did find two niche markets. One was anatomical models, and the other one, believe it or not, which wasn't on anybody's radar screen, was this avatar market. So personalization is really big right now. Those warlocks and all of these little figurines that are pretty popular. And even when they have a movie release like Harry Potter, they like to have all of these figurines and stuff that they launch with the movie. And the fidelity, it was like they could make a Harry Potter doll look like Harry Potter, not like Ken. Because, you know, when everybody else does it, they all look like Ken. They all look like the same guy. But their fidelity was so good that they could actually make it look like the person. So now they're in the process of downloading pictures of people, right? And so the Guitar Hero figurine can have your face on it and it actually looks like you know, and not Ken. So huge market, $150 million market, right? And now this is all really cool, right? Everybody wants to be in medical because it's great and you get high margins and high growth rate, but oh, that FDA, we're not gonna worry about that and all this other stuff. Well, here, there is none of that, right? It's all these gamers that just sit at their computer and email you files and you UPS them back their little figurine and you charge them, you know, $200. You know, and then their mom yells at them when the credit card bill comes, but you still made the sale. So, you know, huge opportunity that, again, wasn't on their radar screen, but absolutely fit their technology niche, right? Their ability to create fidelity that was better than others opened up that marketplace. Okay, so tech scouting, the exact opposite of that, right? This is research aimed at an unmet technology need. I make blue widgets. The market wants red widgets. If I can make red widgets, I can sell $10 million more of stuff, but I just don't know how to do it. This service goes out and finds how you can go from blue to red. So it finds that missing link in the technology, in the process, and the material that'll allow you to make red widgets. I think red widgets, not blue widgets. So, so this is what this is aimed at. And we typically go to private sector, university, federal labs, typical solutions, man, machine, method, material, you know, that sort of thing. Why would you need that? And this is really the big one. You've been working on a project a long time, and this typically comes from the business folks that, you know, all right, it's been 3 years, are we done? It has been 5 years, are we done? So they've been working on a project a really long time, but haven't gotten there yet, right? Hit the glass ceiling, hit a wall, and it really comes down to, in my experience, is access. They can see it, they can't get it, right? It's, you know, you can see that bottle of water out there, but you can't get there, right? Because you just can't navigate through through all the needs to get to the right answer. You're missing revenue opportunities because you're missing an important performance characteristic, and that's the red versus blue analogy again. Yeah, blue, but that's so last year, right? It's red this year, but you can only make blue, and so you become vanilla, and you know the world wants this Neapolitan stuff. So you know you want to stay ahead of it, but you just can't get there because you got old machines or something. So we would come in and find that. You're being pressured to have a desire to develop green. So here's green again. Yeah, I like that, but boy, if I had a red widget that was compostable, now I'm really talking, right? Now I've got global opportunities, I get price premiums. So, you know, again, the opportunity to develop a green product from an existing product, you know, the big one here being the military with the biodegradable forks, you know, so instead of, you know, gathering up the trash everywhere they are, they can just bury it now, and they can compost away. It's a similar idea. Again, partner, OEM, the deliverer, again, that's more for component manufacturers, that your component goes into something. You're progressive, but you know the OEM isn't. So you're like, yeah, I want to improve efficiency, but the thing it's going in, they don't want to do anything more than what they're doing. So we'd go out and find different things. And this is really, in the past couple of years, has been a tough one. You're under pressure to innovate. Everybody knows you have to innovate. You know, innovate or die, you know, it's all those kind of things. But you don't have the bandwidth to do it. I got to innovate on 5 fronts, but I got 2 engineers. How do I do that, right? So that's where RTI and we come in to sort of give you the legs to kind of get that stuff done. A couple examples here. There was a manufacturer that was shutting down every 3 minutes for 3 minutes to clean out the machine. It was a plastics machining company. It's a CNC machine, right? And the whole idea of that is like you do it and walk away, right? And it makes parts. But they had a person with their finger on the stop button. Every 3 minutes, they shut down for 3 minutes to clear stuff out. And so it creates these stringers. So it wasn't ductile enough to fall in and chip like steel. So it created these stringers. And so they were trying cold air. They were sort of on the right path, right? But this was an example of, you know, just couldn't get there. So we came in and we found a cryogenic solution from a company that was 15 miles up the road from them. Created $2 million of additional revenue immediately because they could expand their capacity because now they're not shutting down. And it really was just a retrofit of a liquid nitrogen part on at the point of work that raised the ductility, so now it chipped and sort of fell off like regular steel. Sort of the other one, plastic parts under extreme swings in temperature were bending and bowing. So we needed to find a photo and thermal stabilizer for that had good dispersion, non-toxic, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we found a nano-based coating. The nano world's really kind of busting loose nowadays. We found a nano-based coating, and now they've got this new product line with $5 million of revenue, and they filed a patent. Final thing, IP landscaping. I'm going quicker because I'm running out of time. Essentially, this is, you know, if you have an investor or you're looking to develop something, you want to know the freedom to operate, right? If you have an investor that's going to give you money to develop something, you want to know that if you make this something, that you're able to sell it and you're not boxed in. So essentially, this program sort of gives you that. You know, I'm going to read all this, but again, it's you don't want to be fenced in, right, with something that you're trying to develop, particularly if somebody's giving you money to do it. What it does is it, you know, gives you an idea of what your competition's doing, what innovation activities are developing around you, and it really does give you a map that says, well, if you're here, you're really fenced in, but if you go over here, you got a lot of freedom around you, so you could get, you know, broader protection or something. So, and here was one that there was a novel assay for proprietary use. They had $2.5 million of investors lined up, but before they got funded, they wanted to know that they could make it and sell it. There was 2,300 records of IP out there. 550 of them were relevant. They only thought there were 10, maybe. But we did when we did the search, there was 550. One competitor that was very relevant and it will probably inhibit commercialization, and there's 38 that were slightly relevant that they may be able to work around. But really, without this, they would have gone ahead and wasted a lot of money just to find out that, you know, they may not be able to do anything. So the process, you know, the whole idea here is that, you know, we wake up every day trying to solve your problem. When you come to work, you have the tactical pieces of your business to deal with, you have your customers you need to deal with, and that's what you should be doing, right? I mean, that's what you do when you're running companies. We wake up and all we have to do is solve your problem. So we're very efficient. We have the network, the national network, the international network to go find technologies. We're the legs for you. So we work on your behalf to go out there and find things that will solve your problem. All of this is 8 to 10 weeks from the time we meet with you to understand what your needs are to the time we deliver the final product is, you know, somewhere in 8 to 10 weeks. We try to stick to that, but, you know, a lot of it depends on calling back and getting phone calls, and so sometimes this might slip out, but typically 8 to 10 weeks we like to move stuff through. So sort of in a nutshell, when we look at this, you know, we go out and we find a bunch of solutions for you. There could be 100 of them. We run it past you and you sort of tell us what you like and don't like about what we find. And then this is sort of what differentiates us from other sort of researches. We're going to pick up the phone and call people, right? And when it happens when you pick up the phone and you say, can you help me? And they're going to say yes, because they always do, right? I have a need. Can you give me? Oh, absolutely. Right? So, but what we do is we're vetting here. We're doing all the due diligence on your behalf to make sure that, you know, when we present you with solutions, that they can deliver a solution that solves your problem. So we're doing all of the legwork and all the due diligence for you. You know, again, it could be 100 up here. You know, we may call 50 to 60 people, you know, ask them 12 to 15 questions and really get down to, you know, recommending 4 that can give you qualified solutions. We're going to give you the contact names, why they're relevant, all that sort of stuff. So the benefits is qualified solutions. There's really no other better way of saying it is, you know, all the legwork and due diligence is done. You know, we're not going to give you a list of 100 people and say, you know, somebody on here will probably help you. You know, good luck, right? You don't need us for that. But what you do need us for is to make the calls, to make the intelligent, ask the intelligent questions,